Hello and welcome to Healthy Geeks. This is the review of The Batman with Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz. There are major spoilers during this review of the movie, so if you haven't seen it and you don't want to know what happens in the movie, turn this off now and go see it in theaters. Little warning, don't bring your kids. Not a movie for kids. Alright, let's get to it. Meet me in a dark alley, your weapon won't be your ally. Mark of Zorro playing tonight at the cinema. Bam pow, I just hit you up. My mask has horns. Hello folks and welcome back to Healthy Geeks with a Batman Deadpool.
Batpool and Batman. Yeah.
In the theme of what we're doing today, and that is reviewing
the Batman.
The Batman.
We were supposed to do it together.
Sorry. 1, 2, 3.
The Batman.
So, let's just get into it, I guess.
Yeah.
First off, I want to say that it was the beginning of the movie was very enticing and thrilling with how they shot it and in sequence to seeing through the killer's eyes. So it like put you in that position where you're actually seeing what the killer is seeing. Yeah. And is there anything that you noticed about the opening of the movie?
The most memorable scene of the entire movie was the introduction to the Batmobile. All of a sudden you hear vroom, vroom.
Yeah, the power in that machine.
Awesome.
And that whole scene is incredible where they're driving and he's chasing the Penguin and the Penguin's knocking cars in his way, and then a whole tanker explodes and he drives right through it. And you see that in the trailer actually. We don't want to ruin too much of the movie. Yeah. But
it's a nice, gritty, modern Adam West
movie with darkness to it.
Yeah, gritty Adam West. But the nose bugged me a lot.
The nose needs work, that's for sure. The Pattinson nose needs work.
The costume was cool.
The costume was cool, and it's like, what it's like is it's like completely bulletproof.
The cape was the best part. It transforms into a jacket, a jumpsuit.
How he glided was he used one of those gliding suits, like
that's the cape.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
Which is more realistic, I think, than
similar to the animated series one.
Yeah,
and Bale's cape did the same thing too.
Yeah, it was more of like the electronics or the electrodes traveled through it and hardened it.
Yeah, but this one they didn't really want to explain how it worked.
No, they're just like zip.
No,
up,
that's it.
And he just dives off a building. And as for Pattinson's take on the character, I enjoyed parts of it, and then there was parts that I was like a little bit reserved about.
Like how he didn't take advantage of the shadows and just walk through the front door of everything?
Yeah. They mention one part in it where he's like, they always think I'm lurking in the shadows.
Yeah, but then he didn't... Oh, he pops up from just the front door, not just a random... Where the hell did you come in from? How'd you get in here? You know, normal Batman stuff.
But I did enjoy it. I thought, it was good. It was, it's more realistic because it's what a person would actually be like if they lost their parents at 8 years old. Mm-hmm. I believe anyway. I don't know what you believe, but I think that you would be a little bit disturbed and you would have that depression and that angst of like feeling like you're not in control. So you're just constantly trying to control the situation by fighting or by using your technology or spying on people, because he was a spy in that movie.
They started to show also how he would recruit Robin in the future because of the kid, the mayor's kid.
Yeah.
He's like resonates with that pain, so I don't think the mayor's kid's gonna be Robin. But there's no Batarangs.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Batarang in it. There was no Batarangs.
There's no Batarangs, so they don't have Batarang merch to sell.
He used like
fishing hooks.
Yeah, like spears, like mini spears.
You can get those. They're called slingshot harpoons. Slingshot harpoons.
And he just did like this, and it shot out, and he could go on. It could catapult up a building with it. When he was running down the side of the building, I thought that was cool too. That was an Adam West move for sure.
Yeah, but apparently he needs to learn how to fight a little better.
I think he was. Yeah, I think he's only in year 2 of his training and all his combat experience. So he's not like, it wasn't so much about fighting. It was a crime thriller, right? So it was like it was about the mind of a serial killer.
He didn't collect all 300 Riddler trophies. That's a problem.
It's a crime thriller that is about, it's a thinking game, and that's what the Riddler's all about, is about puzzles and playing games with Batman. And he, right off the bat, is constantly on Batman's case and giving him letters and giving him clues, and it was kind of like a Zodiac killer sort of thing.
He gave Batman love letters.
That's the thing, is that he was so ill, the Riddler, that he thought that they were working together by the end of the movie. And that's one of the things he says. He's like, and by the way, I'm going to put that there's huge spoilers in this, but if you haven't seen it yet, go out and see it. Don't bring your kids, because it's not a movie for kids. It is definitely like they say it's PG-13, but I wouldn't bring a 13-year-old to that, because it's...
If your kids watch horror movies, they're fine to watch this. If they do not, keep them away.
Exactly.
Because if they have nightmares easily, even at 13 years old, there's a lot of kids with nightmares. You don't want them watching it. But they'll watch it anyway.
Yeah. What do you think about Catwoman?
Don't you love her dollar store mask? She robs billionaires for a living and has 3 personalities already, and she customized the whole suit, but she cheapened out on the mask.
I think that...
And where do they get the name Catwoman from if it's just a robber's
She was
mask?
barely a Catwoman. Like, Zoe... What is her name? Zoe Kravitz?
I don't know. She had 3 names.
I think it was Zoe. And she's beautiful, gorgeous woman. As for being Catwoman, she does a good job as the character, but it's just the suit.
They did her dirty on the mask.
They did her dirty on the whole suit. It wasn't like... She needs to get, like, in a Catwoman suit and have, like, the ears and...
Have you seen the costume out of the movie? It was actually pretty good. It's just the mask throws it off.
Yeah, because it's just like a thug, like a...
Because the rest of it is actual combat gear.
Yeah. If she just had, like, I hope that Batman, like,
she
gives
runs
her...
away.
Yeah, in the end, she leaves.
But that's a typical Catwoman move.
Exactly. She's going to come back because he's going to need her in some way.
Oh, no, there's going to be something to rob. She'll be back for that.
Exactly. Yeah. So, if you feel like you lost her, you didn't lose her. She's going to be back for the next one. One thing that I can say is that I really enjoyed the end of the movie. Like, the end of the movie was the best part for me because it had a fight scene that was really cool with all those, like, assassin...
This is just a brief intermission, folks. As you can see, when we went to the Galaxy Cinema in Brockville, Ontario, Canada, we received these special tins that were in honor of the Batman movie. And they didn't have any of the cups, which we missed out on, which I really regret, because I would have bought my tickets for even earlier, but anyway, back to the show.
Sorry for that brief intermission, folks. While we were away, you did get to see the tins that we got.
So probably this part will be
this
edited
part.
Well, okay. So we were talking about his portrayal of the character and how.
Okay. So.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So, sorry for that brief intermission, folks. We ran out of space on the card, but we're back now, and we're gonna.
Ran out of film.
We ran out of film. You know how much film is? Film is so expensive that my friend spent over $3,000 for a 5-minute movie.
Oh.
That was in college when I went to Sheridan College. Anyway, so back to the portrayal of Batman. I did enjoy Pattinson's portrayal of Batman and how he took on the character. I think it was realistic. Now, do you want to talk about your Catwoman experience?
Okay, so I thought Catwoman's character building was okay. The costume was pretty cool, except for that freaking cheap-ass hood. She went and robbed billionaires, had 3 personalities, and she can't afford to make a mask? Really?
Yeah, I mean, they obviously did that on purpose, where it was like this, like, Catwoman was dirt poor, and she usually is.
She's been robbing billionaires, and
she's been robbing billionaires to get out of town, so all that money she was saving.
Money saved up.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. She spent enough money to get that Kevlar suit, which is pretty sweet. She got the mask from Dollar Store? Come on.
Anyway, I believe that her name is Zoe Kravitz, and she's a gorgeous woman, and she does a good portrayal of the character. As for her costume, it could have been better.
Could have been a lot better.
Yeah, so that's not her fault. That's the producer's fault. They're
Whoever's
like,
in charge of costume design.
We spent all the money on Batman's car. We need to just give her that hood there, that toque.
Oh, but that wasn't an expensive car either. They did an Adam West where they took a already existing car and just souped it up instead of building one from scratch.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to explain it then.
Gritty Adam West to the end.
So the car scene was probably one of the best scenes in the movie. And I don't know if we talked about this already, but I'm pretty sure it got cut out. So when the car starts up, it was like thunder in the theater, where it was like horses like stampeding through the valley.
It was the highlight of the entire movie.
It was the highlight of the entire movie because it was so very coolly introduced.
And to be honest, I did not like the Batmobile before we saw the movie. I kept thinking, oh my god, it's the Back to the Future car.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Charger. It's like a souped up Charger with the engine in the back, which is really cool because it would, you'd definitely be able to accelerate very highly with that car.
And it was his first Batmobile because it seemed like everyone was like, what? Batman has a car now?
Yeah. So, let's talk about the Penguin character and what happened to him on set.
Yeah, so if you've seen any of the behind-the-scenes interviews, I forget the actor's name.
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell was walking around set dressed up as Penguin for the first time, and then I guess Patterson walked by and kind of wanted to kick him off the set because he's like, who the hell is this creepy guy? Then he goes and talks to the producer, and the producer's like, oh, that's Colin. And then he goes back, Colin? What the hell? Who are you? That's such a good costume.
Yeah, so he literally almost got kicked off set because his costume was so good. So where they took liberties with Catwoman's costume and pretty much sunk everything into Penguin's costume.
I guess so.
So, yeah, and
I didn't like the mobster tie-in for Catwoman, but whatever. It's what it is. They want to make it a little original.
Yeah, one thing I did enjoy was like his technology was so small. Like Batman's technology was so small and refined that he was able to record video from the contact lens. And I thought that was pretty cool. And it was a way that they could like lose the quality of the actual filming and video, and it made sense for the story.
I kind of prefer the cowl lenses that go down.
Yeah.
Because that way it doesn't get knocked out unless he loses his mask.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much for spying.
Yeah,
so.
But Batman usually has like some sort of batarang, and he has his lenses, but this is something he can lend to some. No, you can't lend somebody your lenses. Oh, he had it in his belt. That's where it was.
Yeah.
And she put it on after taking it off. Oh, that hurts just thinking about.
Yeah. This is the end of the movie that I'm going to explain to you. So if you haven't seen the movie and you want to turn this off and just go see the movie, because I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 popcorns.
I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5.
So 5 out of 5 popcorns for me, 4 out of 5 popcorns for
Now
Batman.
Explain your 5 out of 5 for them.
My 5 out of 5 is because I enjoy crime thrillers. That is the most... Like, I love the thinking games of the Batman comics, where the Riddler plays into the puzzles and trying to catch Batman off guard with his mind. So it's a question of intelligence instead of just brute force. And that's why I gave it a 5 out of 5, because I haven't seen a Batman movie like that, where it's like, okay, Batman doesn't have to just use his fists and kick people and break their arms. He actually has to use his brain to solve this problem.
Yeah, I liked that it was an early Batman. And because it's Batman, it got such a high rating for me. It's just the costumes really put me off to the amount that I wouldn't give it a 5 out of 5. And the fact that it's not as rewatchable as typical Batman movies. The fight scenes were more of him just walking in the front door. He didn't do any of the signature Batman pops from, where the hell did you come from? You know, those things you'd watch the movie over and over for. You're like, oh my god, that's where he pops in that scene. That was so cool. But no, it was more of the same walk and the lazy music there. It was more or less of the same da-da-da.
Yeah, that Nirvana song is played throughout the whole movie.
God. There was no extra like variations. They would just add other sounds to the da 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 da. It gets to you after 3 hours.
So this is the spoiler warning. If you haven't seen the movie and you want to go see it, because I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. Batman here gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. So turn this off if you don't want to ruin the end of the movie for yourself. I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, Mississippi. 2, Mississippi. 3, Mississippi. Okay.
And they're gone. Okay.
So the end of the movie was my favorite part. Because, 1, it was masterfully conducted in the sense that it's like the song from the opening of the movie, where it's an orchestra and this person who is a serial killer is playing this song in his head as he manipulates Batman into revealing Carmone Falcone and bringing him into the light, getting him shot and killed, because the Riddler was literally just across the street the entire time. And he's been watching this all play out. And
it really shows you into his mind, that whole ending, and how he had that web show going with all those followers.
Exactly. That was a very interesting part, because that is literally sometimes how it is in this world, is that you can inspire people online to do things that they shouldn't be doing at all. And you can get so much information online about how to make bombs, how to... It really correlates with what actually happened.
And I'm not sure if it's Batman's first villain doing something like that. Maybe that's why he wasn't expecting it at all.
Exactly.
But
so when he inspired these people, Batman had to like fight all these men or women. I don't know if they were men and women, but I'm assuming that they're people. So. And he fought them, and it was a brilliant fight scene where he was like knocking the crap out of people. He could be a better fighter, I'll admit, because
and the fact that all of a sudden that one bullet suddenly
the shotgun that shot him
shot him like 3-4 times already, that didn't do a thing, all of a sudden knocked him off, and he had to take an adrenaline shot just to save Catwoman in the end. And so I love that part, and then he there's the water is filling up from the vans that exploded on the edges of the city that the Riddler had placed there, and as the water's flooding in, the music takes over again. It's a crescendo of a symphony, an orchestra, and dun 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 dun, and then there's an electric wire from the building where is like the safe place for everyone to go in the city if there's ever a hurricane or some natural disaster. And it was hanging down, and Batman grabs it, takes the bat symbol off his chest and cuts it and falls into the water. And disappears.
And then disappears for a few seconds. And you're like, oh my god, did he make it? And he does. But the thing is that what I enjoyed the most about this movie, and honestly it made me feel so good at the end, was that he starts doing humanitarian work as the ending of the movie, so that he helps people climb out of the rubble. He acts like a humanitarian, and
even though typically that's Bruce Wayne's side of Batman.
Usually that's Bruce Wayne's side, but he's wearing the bat suit, and he's helping people with everyday, ordinary things. I mean, it's an extreme situation because there was just a catastrophe, but he finds himself more useful in helping people than hurting people, and that was like the staple of the movie.
I think that electrical scene might be why he'll develop batarangs later on. Because those little harpoon things would not cut that cable.
Yeah, it wouldn't, and you would be able to shoot it anyway. So that was my favorite part, was the end of the movie when he was helping people, go on stretchers or digging people out of the mud and the rubble. And yeah, so he found himself useful in a positive light compared to the whole movie, which is completely dark and scary and a mystery.
You know what I just realized we did not talk about? This is the first casting for Alfred that wasn't badass. This is the first Alfred that somebody snuck up on, beat the hell out of him, and Alfred didn't do anything. Usually someone breaks into the manor and Alfred just beats the shit out of him,
Yeah, because Alfred
is
the reason, like, he was the one that gave Bruce a lot of his training.
Yeah, he's a 007.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be like badass.
Yeah, and he opens a letter from the Riddler. It explodes, and he ends up in the hospital, and he doesn't really do much for the whole movie, except for explain one key pivotal plot point to Bruce when he's on his when he's recuperating in the hospital. Yeah. Anyway, folks, It's been real. This is Batman and what am
Batpool.
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 That's right. I forgot my name there for a second. So thanks for tuning in to Healthy Geeks, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Now we'll fade into the shadows, because we are vengeance.
We are vengeance. Alright, thanks folks. Talk to you later.
Well,
See ya.
You should have faded to black. You said thanks from the
Well,
shadows.
this will be what's in the black now.
Oh, goodness.
It'll just be black. A black screen.
They are scared.
Alright. I think that was better anyway.
My mask has horns, for the roses thorns, and beautiful pearls that lay broken. No one has spoken. On my knees in silence, scarred from the memory of the family that just left me without a token. The orchestra is over. I'm gaining my composure on my martial arts style. I ran the marathon to the very last mile, so I could pile you thugs on the ground. That's my sound, 'cause I see at night. With my tech as I wreck your plans to destroy every ploy left alone, so I don't see any more broken homes. From stones that are cast in my direction, I'm deflecting all the blows. This is the Batman as the story goes. The bat is the answer, a virus spreading like cancer. I'm the dancer of kung fu, tiger, crane, mantis, monkey, and snake. As I break through and have my cake and eat it too. Bullets deflected, misery redirected. My mecha suit is for sale tonight. My opening bid is 3 trillion. For the billions of lives that depend on it, I spit words of wisdom as I'm dragging you criminals to prison. This is my mission. Crack, boom goes the thunder, while I'm leaving my enemies to blunder. Flash goes the lightning. Don't be afraid, child. I know I look frightening, but I'm a man under this guise. Praise be to the skies filled with clouds as the rain falls down. My ride flies, sinks and accelerates to the plates of this grand illusion that we have no place. A light in the dark so I can spark a vision of a world where children don't have to be afraid of the darkness. I bless these streets with my tested true rap beats. Take hold of your nations. We are replacing our leaders who are wrecking our freedoms. Spoken like a true Wabanaki. I'm destined for greatness, but before great I'm good. Make sure the hungry have enough food. Feed them information about reincarnation. My totem is the wolf, which means I'm a family man. Bless you, Creator, for every step I take on this earth since my birth. Priceless is what your life is worth. A reckoning is coming. Bless the heavens. Thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Bless you all.